Hello! We've got a nice full body advanced Pilates class. However, there are some modifications. So when you're ready, just hop onto your mat and we will begin. We're just going to start by taking some nice deep breaths in, arms up, and fold forward from here. Then we're just going to drop the head and hold this fold forward, bending the knees, and then straighten back out. And then we can really just bend nice and deep into that squat and try straighten the knees as far as they can go. One more. Hold the fold forward. We're going to turn up towards the left of the room. Squeeze back that shoulder blade. Nice deep breath in. And when you're ready, we're going to go over to the other side of the room. Squeeze back of that shoulder blade. Really try rotating the spine. Take a nice deep breath in. Good. And then we're going to come up again. Arms up as you take a deep breath in. Stretch up the arms as we're going over towards the one side of the room. And over towards the other side of the room. And relax. Well done. Shake out the arms. Right, and when you're ready, core nice and tight, we're going to stand on the left foot. Right foot steps into a back lunge. Step in, step out, and then forward lunge. Keep that core nice and tight. Keep going at your own pace. Back lunge, step in, step out, and forward lunge. There is the option to rather use a chair if you feel like your balance is a little bit off, and then really just try focus on the lunge, getting those knees down towards the ground and keeping that core nice and tight, keeping the upper body nice and up. Keep going at your own pace. Well done. Okay, from here we're going to stay on that left leg. We're going into a squat. Right leg steps out, step back, and then right leg kicks back. Squeeze up with that glute. Squat, step out, step back in, and kick back. Make sure you stay planted on this left foot so that you're really pivoting in the hip. Option to rather use a chair for the balance if it's needed, and then really focus on your posture. Keep going at your own pace, really squeeze up at the back with your glute and really try focus on your balance. Well done. Shake out that left leg. We're going to go right over to the right side. So planting the right leg, core nice and tight, back lunge, step in, step out, and forward lunge. Again, back lunge, step in, step out, and forward lunge. Keep that core nice and tight. Option to rather use a chair for balance and focus on the posture in the lunge position. Taking that knee down to the floor and keeping the body upright. Keep going at your own pace. Well done. We're going to stay planted on that right leg, core nice and tight, into the squat, left leg steps out, step back, left leg kicks back, squeeze up through that glute and focus on the balance. Squat, step out, step back, kick back, squeeze with that glute and really focus on the balance. Option to rather use the chair if it's needed to just help with the balance so that you can focus on getting deeper into the squat and really pivoting on that hip. Make sure the right leg stays planted the whole time. Well done. That leg should be feeling nice and jelly. From here, we're gonna go over to back to the left leg, core nice and tight, soft knee at the bottom, hands together, and then we're just gonna squeeze up with that other leg, kicking back, and then take the knee to touch behind the other knee, and then back up again. Squeeze with that glute, touch the knee to the other knee, squeeze up, and knee touches. Make sure your core stays nice and tight, make sure your upper body stays nice and stable, and that bottom knee is nice and soft. You may lose your balance. Option to hold onto a chair if it's really difficult so that you can really just focus on the squeeze, and then just try and have a lighter grip as you progress. Well done. Shake out that leg. And over to the other side, core nice and tight, soft bottom knee, kick back with the left leg, squeeze up, and knee touches behind the other knee. Keep the body nice and straight up. You may lose your balance. Squeeze up and touch behind. Well done, good. We're gonna just take a nice deep breath and then we're gonna step into a down dog. Heels down towards the floor, really push your bum up into the air and try lean through your shoulders. Taking a nice deep breath in, drop the head. You can gently rotate your neck left and right if that feels comfortable. Alright, and then we're just gonna come down to our mat when you're ready into a 4-point kneeling position. We're going to start core nice and tight, moving the left leg. We're going to take the knee out to the side, 1, 2, step that leg forward, and then the bottom leg is going to kick through and back to 4-point kneeling. Left leg out, 1, 2, step forward, kick through, and 4-point kneeling. Keep going at your own pace. If this is very difficult, instead of kicking through, you have the option to just touch that knee towards the other leg and then go right back into the 4-point kneeling. The transition from the leg on the floor kicking through is quite a lot. It's an arm and a core and a balance, so really just move at your own pace. When you kick through, make sure that this planted foot, the heel stays down, that you're not kind of balancing on your toes, but that you're really driving up through your heel to keep your glute up into the air. Keep going. We're going to hold this kick through, option to keep the bum up and bottom leg just up and down. Make sure that leg is rotated so that it's really the inner thigh that's lifting up that leg. Keep going. You can put your bum down and just make it an inner thigh movement. And then we're going to go straight into hip thrusters. Keep that heel down onto the floor and just up and down with the glutes. It really should be burning by now. Well done. Let's just take a nice deep breath in, shake out that wrist, It's quite a lot of weight bearing on the wrist. And then when you're ready, let's go back into 4-point kneeling over to the other side. So we're going to start core nice and tight. The right leg is now going to come knee out to the side. 1, 2, step forward, and bottom leg kicks through and right back to 4-point kneeling. Modification is possible to just take that knee to the other leg instead of kicking it all the way through. Keep going at your own pace. All right, last one. We're going to hold that kick through, bottom leg up and down. Make sure this leg is turned out so that it's really the inner thigh, and there's an option to just put your bum down and just make it an inner thigh movement. Keep going. And from here, we're going to just do hip thrusters, squeeze up through that glute. Make sure that heel is planted onto the floor, that you're not balancing on your toes. Almost there. Good, nice deep breath and shake out those wrists. Alright, from here we're going back into a 4-point kneeling position. We're going to have the left leg stepped out to the side, coming into a down dog with the right knee up to the chest, put it down into a push-up as the left leg kicks up, squeeze up through that glute. Right knee up to your chest in a down dog, push up with the left leg up into the air. Make sure you really squeeze up with that glute and try keep your elbows tucked into your sides and aiming your elbows down to the floor. Keep going at your own pace. Knee to your chest in a down dog, knee down to the floor as you go into a push up with the opposite leg kicking back. Good job. We're just going to step back into a child's pose. Just have a nice quick deep breath in through the nose and out. We're going to come back into a 4-point kneeling position. We're going to go over to the other side now. So left knee bent, right leg kicked out, down dog with the left knee to the chest, right leg kicks back as you go into a push-up. Knee to the chest, knee down, and then kick back as you lean into a push-up. Keep going at your own pace. Keep your core nice and tight. Keep a nice double chin, aiming your elbows down to the floor and keeping your elbows tucked into your sides. Well done. Let's just go back into a last child's pose. Nice deep breath in and a long breath out. Okay, from here we're going to go onto our left knee, right leg out to the side, core nice and tight, and hands behind your head. All right. Then we're going to do an oblique crunch, elbow towards the straight leg, over to the other side as the hand touches the floor, lift up that straight leg, forward, back, back down, and come back up. Over to the straight leg, hand to the ground, up with that leg, forward, back, down. Keep going at your own pace. Make sure you're really squeezing up that glute, forward, back, and back down. Oblique lean over to the straight leg, hand to the floor, up, forward, back, and down. Keep going at your own pace. All right, last one. You really should be feeling your bum by now. We're going to keep that leg there and just up and down in the oblique line. Make sure you squeeze that bum back so that you're not using your hip flexors, but really using your glutes to get your bum up there. And from here, we're going to just take it forward and keep going with the up and down. It should be on fire by now. Core nice and tight. Well done. We're going to stay in a side plank, soft elbow at the bottom, and then the option to either just lift up that knee or bottom knee kicks forward and back down. Kicks forward and back down. This is a lot of balance and a lot of inner thigh. Rather, if you're struggling, go onto your elbow for a bit more support and just lift that knee and put it down. Lift that knee and put it down. Keep going at your own pace. Well done. All right, last little bit, we're going to come onto that same elbow, straight legs, and then we're going to go arm up into the air, thread the needle, and then come right back up. Option to rather bend your knees if it's feeling very unstable. Stay strong through that shoulder, really push off the ground, keep the core nice and tight, and squeeze back the shoulder blade at the top. Keep going. Last little bit, we're just going to do hip thrusters up and down of those glutes. Your oblique should be on fire. Keep going. Really squeeze that glute up there. Good. Let's just go over towards the legs. Let's take a nice deep breath in a mermaid stretch. And a long breath out. One more deep breath in. And out. All right, over to the other side. Let's get onto the right knee, left leg straight out, hands behind the head, core nice and tight, elbow towards the straight leg, and then opposite hand towards the floor as you lift up that leg, forward, back, and back down. Elbow towards the straight leg, over to the floor, up, forward, and back down with that leg. Keep going at your own pace. Make sure you're really lifting up with your glute and not your hip flexors. Alright, we're going to keep that leg up there and then just go up and down. Keep pulsing, really squeeze through that glute. Pull back that leg so that it's not your hip flexors, but really your glutes lifting you up. Well done. From here, we're just going to take that leg forward and up and down. Last little bit, it should be burning. Alright, we're going to stay in the side plank. The bottom knee is going to come up. Option to just lift that knee, or you can just kick it forward and put it back down. Keep the bottom elbow soft. If it's very difficult, rather go down onto your elbow and just lift that knee. Core stays nice and tight. Make sure you're pushing away from the floor and not collapsing into your shoulder. Well done. Last little bit. We're just going to go down onto the elbow, lift up with those glutes, arm into the air, and then thread the needle all the way through and squeeze up with that shoulder blade. Thread through and up. Keep going. Option to rather be on your knees. Good job. We're just going to hold there and hip thrusters up and down, squeeze through those glutes, push away with the shoulder. Last little bit. Good. Let's just do a mermaid stretch over towards the legs. Nice deep breath into that rib cage. And a long breath out. All right, we're just gonna go onto the floor on your tummy, hands behind your head. Make sure your core is nice and tight and that you're lifting up through your glutes and your shoulder blades. You shouldn't be feeling it in your lower back. We're gonna lift the opposite elbow, opposite leg, and then switch. Opposite elbow, opposite leg. Keep going at your own pace. Just squeeze through that glute and squeeze through that shoulder blade. Core stays nice and tight. If you're feeling it in your back, rather make the movement smaller and just make sure you're isolating your glutes. Well done. We're just going to take the arms forward and squeeze up with the shoulder blades and the legs at the same time. Again, core nice and tight. Make sure it's just your glutes and just your shoulder blades. You really should not be having any deep pain into the back, glutes and shoulder blades. Keep that core on. Keep going. And then lastly, we're going to do hands behind the head, core nice and tight, oblique over to the one side, squeeze, and other side, squeeze. Keep your legs in the air if you can, lifting up those glutes, oblique over to the one side and to that other side. Keep a nice double chin. Well done, and then just go back into a well-deserved child's pose. Really open up through your knees so that you can fold into it. Deep breath in and a long breath out. All right, well done. We're going to come to sitting on our bum with the right knee bent and the left leg kicked out. We're going to do a roll up into a wild thing. So we're going to start on our back, core nice and tight, deep breath in, and as you breathe out, roll up one vertebra at a time, left hand to the floor and squeeze up with that glute. Make sure the right leg's heel is staying flat onto the floor, that you're really driving up through that glute. If it's very difficult to do the roll up, rather just go halfway back into that C curve and then come back into a wild thing. You don't have to go all the way up into the wild thing, just get that squeeze through the glutes. Keep going at your own pace. Well done. We're just going to do wild thing over to the other side. So bending up the left leg, right leg out. Roll back down one at a time. Deep breath in and out. As you right hand onto the floor, squeeze up with that glute and right back down. Make sure the left heel is now planted onto the floor, really squeezing up with that bum. Roll down one vertebra at a time. Keep going at your own pace. Make sure you're not throwing up with momentum. If it's too difficult to come up, rather go back halfway into a C curve and then right back into a wild thing. Well done. We're just going to go back down, knees to your chest, just gently rock left and right. Deep breath in and a long breath out. Stay on the back, hands behind the head and the legs in tabletop. We're going to do a crisscross, but go over to that opposite side. As the bottom leg kicks out, do a straight leg raise, up, down, and then back to center. Cross over to the other side, straight leg up, down, back to center. Cross over, straight leg up, down, back to center. Cross over, straight leg up, down, back to center. Keep going at your own pace. Make sure your core is nice and tight. Make sure your elbow stays open, that you're not driving up through your neck, but really just lifting up with your core. And make sure your pelvis is stable. Well done. Knees up to the chest. Let's just take a nice deep breath in again. You can gently rock left and right. And then we're going to go into the last little bit of the ab burner. So you can put your hands next to your sides when you're ready. Keeping your legs in tabletop, we're just going to do a small glute lift, keeping that nice double chin. And then put down the bum, small crunch of the upper body. Lift up with the glutes, drive through the arms, and small crunch of the upper body. Keep that nice double chin, really lifting up with just the abdominals and not driving up through your neck. Lifting up the glutes, put it down, small crunch through the upper body. Keep going, I know it's burning. Well done. Good. We're just going to pull the knees to the chest. Have a nice deep breath in and out. When you're ready, we're going to straighten out the one leg as we bring the opposite leg over, holding onto that knee. And if you can take the bottom foot with the top hand and then just pull that leg back. Try really get that knee back so that you can get a nice hip flexor stretch and a nice quad stretch. And try put this top shoulder down towards the floor. Keep taking nice deep breaths in and long breaths out. All right, when you're ready, you can release gently. And then we're just going to come over towards the other side, straighten out the bottom leg, bring this knee over, and then try catch that foot if you can with the top arm. Really pull this knee towards your chest and pull that bottom knee back. And try put that top shoulder onto the floor. Take a nice deep breath in and long out. With every exhale, try see if you can just fold a little bit deeper into this pretzel-like stretch. Done. Gently release, and then we're just going to pull back up to seated, feet together as we lean forward into a butterfly stretch. Make sure your back is nice and straight, have a nice double chin, and just lean through the hips. Try not to pulse out the knees, just keep them where they are, gently trying to open up a little bit deeper. Keep focusing on a nice deep breath in and a long breath out. Right, we're going to take the right leg out to the side, keeping the left leg bent, and then just lean over towards that straight leg. Really try and rotate so that your top rib cage is pointed up towards the roof so that you get a nice oblique stretch and back stretch, and then try and just breathe into that rib cage at the top. You don't have to touch your toes, option to rather just hold on to your leg. right, over to the other side, bending the right leg, straighten out the left leg, and then reach over towards that right leg, left leg, bring over that arm, and then really just try rotate the top rib cage towards the roof, having a nice deep breath into that rib cage and a long breath out. Good job. We're going to just step back into a down dog. Ankles nice and down towards the floor, bum into the air, leaning through that shoulder, and then you can just pivot onto your tippy toes if you feel up to it, and back down. Try go a little bit more down every time. You should feel a nice stretch through your toes, and everything might be cracking. We're then just going to bring the right leg up to a pigeon pose. Really aim that heel towards the hip on the other side, leaning into it, and then just drop your head. Focus on nice deep breaths in. Try see if you can push that hip a little bit more towards the heel. Alright, step back into a down dog, ankles nice and down, and then we're going to bring the left leg into a pigeon pose, aiming that heel towards the hip, and just drop into it. Try see if you can move that hip a little bit closer to that heel. Well done. We're going to step back into a down dog, ankles down, bum into the air. And then we're just going to slowly walk the hands towards the feet. Stay in a fold forward position, really drop the head, deep breath in. And then you can step just a little bit wider. And then we're going to take both our arms toward the right leg. Really pull towards that leg, drop the head, nice deep breath in. And then both hands towards the left leg when you're ready. Keep that fold forward, really drop the head. Keep focusing on your breathing. And then hands to the center. You can do hands behind your back, pull away as far as you can, and then just gently rotate your neck left and right. Slow and small movements. You should feel a nice pull through your neck. Well done. When you're ready, we can slowly roll up. Take a nice last deep breath in and just shake out. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this workout, and I hope to see you again next time.